I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic, or the direction I want to consciously evolve in, is choices, options. The fact that we have options, right? Me and my dad have been having not recently, but a while ago, a little bit of a difference in opinion when it comes to where the world is going. What are you barking at? Uh-uh. Like where the world is going, And he believes in a like we're kind of in the end of the world kind of scenario, where I believe we're at the start of a whole new beautiful fractal, right? Like that kind of difference. And I think I'm this is, I might be wrong about this, but I think the problem isn't so much our difference in opinion, but the fact that one of us might not realize we are actively choosing to believe one thing or another, right? That we have options, not only in our own lives, not only as in relationships or food choices, but we have options in what we believe too, what we believe our future holds for us. And believing the future holds suffering, believing the future holds, yeah, I can say just suffering, to be completely honest, right? Doesn't serve me. What are you barking at? No, no, don't do that. And they're like, what am I? I'm not doing anything. I'll just step on your feet. I'm not doing anything. I'm not. I'm just being a cutie patootie. Wow, this topic hits hard. Stop it! And that's what they're barking at. I'm happy that you appreciate it, Natalie. Sending you blessings. Yeah, it is an important topic to consider, right? The fact that you have options in what you believe about your future. And depending on which option you choose, is going to influence the rest of your life as well. It's going to influence the way you see people. It's going to influence the way you see yourself. It's going to influence the things you think possible, right? To make it simple and silly, an ice cream shop, right? Maybe an ice cream shop could still work, but let's in this fractal, say someone wants to create an ice cream shop, but then due to global warming being a thing and them being worried about global warming, they believe that if they created an ice cream shop, their ice cream will melt, right? So they lose hope for this ice cream shop idea that they have because of global warming. Where on the other side, your other option to believe is that, oh, because of global warming, people are going to be hotter than ever. So they're going to need for ice cream even more. So it'll be a good idea for me to create my business, right? And depending on what you believe, the person that believes, oh, there's no use in creating an ice cream shop business because global warming is going to melt all my ice cream. And the person that believes, oh, I'm going to have even more customers than ever. Both of those people are theoretically at least right in their own minds, right? And depending on which option they believe is going to influence the rest of the options that they take going forward from that moment. So, big good options for yourself and for your loved ones. I'll talk about your options. You better, dude. Better talk about my options. I thought you weren't living that life anymore, yo. Like options, like stock trading. Fortunately, not. I never did stock trading, but I did watch a video today of a dude losing $50,000 in 2 minutes. That made me feel some things. All right, watching the dismay, watching the absolute suffering in that dude's face, it makes me not want to trade. Makes me be like, yes, I don't think I want to have any dealings with any of that. Thank you very much. Sam got to feel Kingdom Hall. Bless. Also, Europe. What, Sam? Also, don't pick up our convos yet because I didn't have time to put intelligent thought to it. Put a pin in it. This topic gets hard. Bless. Hello, Zano. Blessing to you. It's nice having your name here alongside us. Ginger meat. Like one of my cats is called Ginger. Okay. You always message Joy on Discord, Doug. She's super prompt about answering usually. You can always. Let's see. Maybe she will. Not only did I build a little desk in my grow room yesterday, but also set up consistent streaming setup. I can't wait to start streaming some farm stuff. Bro, I'm happy for you, man. Yeah. Setting a place up where you can consistently stream is a big deal. I think about wanting to do that as well, to be completely honest. I don't know what that's going to look like. We might end up doing more streams in my room, right? But then I want to get it like super psychedelic. I want it to look good at the very least. And then maybe the outside streams will be a little bit more of a novelty or a rarity, at least at first. We'll see. We'll see how things work. It's going to be fun either way. I'm proud of you, or the bear, for getting so much done, for being so productive, man. Ginger meat. I forgot your kitty was oops. Yeah. Like it's weird as well that you had to say that because I was like going through a weird brain fractal, while I was doing yoga. In one of my warrior poses, I watched one of the kitties stretch, and it was very clear to me where the muscle fibers on Kitty's leg was when she was stretching like that. And as soon as I spotted the mango fibers, as soon as I spotted the muscle fibers, I was like, that cat has meat, right? And as soon as I thought that cat has meat, I thought about the scenario of being really hungry, right? To the point of not having any options and then having to eat one of your cats, right? Like I thought that. I did think about that for like 11 seconds and 300 milliseconds or something, right? And then you write ginger meat in the freaking comment section. It's just my mind goes like, what do you know? What do you know? You can't know that. How do you know that? That was my private. I shouldn't tell anybody those internal thoughts. If Kitty was named Ginger, is okay. I know, Sam. I just didn't want to butt in if she needs the room. Bless you. I've also been sending her love-ins. Am I not on all messages or something? Am I missing messages? Okay, I'm on all messages now. I'm not seeing anything else pop up. Let me continue. Yesterday, my cousin lost her struggle to catch her breath. Today, my daughter builds me a house in Minecraft. Life moves forward, even if you're not ready. I'm so sorry for the loss of your cousin, Natalie. I don't know if you saw that video as well, but I watched this video about someone that works as like a death doula and how she guides people through their final days. And now one of the things that she explains to them is this battle for breath that you're talking about, Natalie. How as we die, our breath gets shallower and shallower and shallower. And then we eventually start having these mini battles where we breathe and it's like almost like a labored breath. And then our death finally is just the exhaling and simply not taking an inhale again. So maybe it wasn't a battle. Maybe it was a surrender, right? At least that's the way that I've been trying to see it. Because I don't want to go into my death one day fighting, right? Like if I'm dealing with cancer or something like that, then I'm supposed to be fighting this cancer to survive. That's another thing. But if I know I'm not long for this earth, will I want to be in that fighting state or will I want to be in a soft state? Would that hurt my family depending on which version of me I occupy, right? Would it hurt my family seeing me fighting this thing, trying to survive, clinging to life? Would it hurt my family seeing me be completely content with dying? I'm so sorry, Natalie. Sending you love, dear friend. Thank you for honoring your cousin by reminding all of us of her. Thank you for celebrating your daughters and their willingness to build you houses in Minecraft. Life moves on. Nothing is lost. Well, now you know how I feel when you say you eat mango. I get it. But that's your fault, though. Technically, it's my fault as well. I mean, I was not the one who named ginger. But ginger is a food item, right? Mangoes, I like mangoes. I eat mango with the skin, right? So now I know that I'm saying it on purpose right now, knowing that Zano's doggo is called Mango, right? I'll eat mango with this kid. I'll get all of those hairs all stuck on my teeth and stuff. Zano getting the triggers. Don't eat my mango. Leave my poor mango alone. He deserves better. Love is true. Mm, but kitty or doggo doesn't taste good. Yeah, they're more valuable to me as little pets. I'm sorry for your loss and happy for your new home. Bless. I'm sorry to hear about your cousin. My cats killed a mouse in the house this week. They have guaranteed that they will starve. They have guaranteed that I will starve before I eat them. That's so much love. You won't because DMT. Hmm? They will survive longer on me than I am. Natalie, your cat will teach my stupid cats to do it, but the damn mouse looked me in the eyes the other night on my counter while the dipshits were sleeping on the chair. You wake them up being like, there's a mouse in here. And they're like, yeah, oh, why are you telling me that you saw it first, bro? Do something about it. I'm chilling right now, Cat says to you. Natalie, condolences for your loss. This mortality thing sneaks up on us sometimes. So much love to you and yours. Thank you, Josh Mo. It's nice having your name here with us. Sending you blessings, bro. Thanks, everyone. Emotions will hit when I no longer need to be strong, cousin. Yeah. Makes me think about like my mom's loss of my dad, like my mom's loss of my grandpa. Like she lost her dad in a car accident. He was the one driving. A cow walked into the road. They drove into the cow, and he was the one who died in the car. I believe it was her mom and her siblings and herself in the car. And she was basically in like a, I want to say coma, but coma, I don't know if that's necessarily the right word. She was unconscious. That's the right word, right? She was unconscious during the accident or after the accident, and a big while after the accident as well. So she was very unconscious for most of the kind of like the sinking in of the reality of the death of her father, right? She kind of came back to the world, still hurt, hearing that her dad had died. And she was still so in a daze that it couldn't properly register for her. And then her uncle died as well. And she could actually go to her uncle's funeral. And when she was at her uncle's funeral, seeing the cast and seeing his photo and seeing all of the people there and mourning, that's when it really hit her that her dad, was gone as well. And that's when she really cried. So maybe in the same way, I don't know if that was necessarily strength as much as it was maybe circumstance, but sending you so much love, Natalie. You got this, friend. I told Duckling that Melt eats pineapple skins last night and said, doesn't he have parents that love him? And told him not to. Tell her no. Tell her no, Melt doesn't. Tell her no, Melt is a wild jungle person. Tell her Melt got raised with a pack of lions. It's a pride of lions, Melt. Melt got raised by a pride of lions. Tell her that. Tell her. Because it's true though. I do eat like I did once take a video of it, of me devouring a whole pineapple, skin and all, but it doesn't look good on video. So I neglected to post it. I was like just looks like me dissociating simping pineapples down my face. Like the only reason the pineapple isn't eaten faster is because like the skins of the pineapple kind of adds like texture. It's like rocky road. It's like bumpy bumps on the smooth road. So I don't just they make it disappear, turn it to juice. Fuzzy mango. That is true. Hey, Kristen, bless you. Swampy, I believe I have been to that fine establishment before. I miss one. The mortality thing sneaks up on you. The establishment, okay. That is priceless. I hope you're writing these down. Love is true. My dog had zero interest in the mouse, zero. Yeah, Pippi is definitely a mouser as well. You know, she loves killing mice. Like, if she sees a mouse, like her mind will not be able to be occupied by anything else. Like, no food, probably no food, no attention, no, rope, no scarf, no music will be able to distract her from, I need to murder this rat thing. It needs to die now. Hail humanimals. Hey Kelly. So much love to you all. Nat, I'm sorry to hear of your loss. She is in the stars now. Bless. Thank you, Kelly, for sending love as well. What's a cast? A cast? Uh, I feel as of late I've been a casket. Maybe that's what I said. Yeah, right? I think he meant casket. Cast. Did I say cast? Yeah, casket. Sorry. We call it a kus in Afrikaans. There's a kus. Cast. Kus. I can see myself making the mistake. Ellie! Hey, Ellie! It's been a while, friend. It's nice seeing you. I'm doing well. I'm feeling a little bit woozy, like I'm not all there, but not in a bad way. Like I'm softening. I'm less attached, like that. Like I'm less attached, and because of that less attachedness, I have less strings pulling on my being at the same time, creating softness, right? Like when you have a bunch of strings spun and there's a center point, which is you can get pretty stiff in the middle of all of those points pulling on you at all times, right? All of those attachments. And I feel I've had, at least here, fewer attachments to my own internal measure of what happiness is supposed to be. I am moving soon. I officially got my date. We are moving officially in on the 3rd of February, which is less than ideal for me because I want to start growing my plants. And I don't know if I want to start growing them in my pots and then transport them. I don't think they'll like that. So I have to be there to start. And now being there and being able to get started has been postponed by at least 3 days. But at least we know now, right? 3rd of February, here we come. A whole new world awaiting us. A wild Kelly has appeared. Love. Terra Nova called shenanigans on your statement of being raised in the wild, Mel. She was like, Cap. And calls me out. I was like, nah, dude. I'm like, I wasn't raised in the wild. It's true. It's true, Terra Nova. Actually, I wasn't raised in the wild. Unfortunately, I was raised in a house. What a shame. What a shame. Truly. Truly, what a shame. If I could only be raised in the wild, Like I would still sleep in a house, but I want to be raised in the wild. Right? Like I want us to be in the wild for most of the times. And then when we want to go sleeping, we walk inside the house and then we walk directly out the house again. I keep forgetting that I'm a white person though, right? So I probably would be scorched if I've been in the sun my whole life. I had this whole moment with my mom the other day where I spent like maybe 2 hours in the sun total that day, and I was like scorched on my shoulders. And she looks at me and she's like, why are you getting burnt? And I go, yeah. And I say literally, I need my suit, right? Like I am 100% going to build myself a suit, right? A temperature control suit. Imagine a scuba suit, right? That you put on to go and scuba dive in the ocean, but for being a land mammal, right? And this suit, instead of just keeping you dry, it's supposed to keep you cold. It has like capillaries of like water flowing on the outside of the suit, creating like a heat sinking membrane that keeps pulling energy or heat away from your body. And then as a result as well, protecting you from the sun. And I will build one of those, and I want one already. But then I'm like, yeah, but it's probably gonna be easier to just put sunblock on myself, in the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for my suit to come. Slowly but surely, right? So you friends love it. Thank you, Terra Nova, for taking me on a tangent as well. Oh my goodness, I won't type it, but anyone remember that quote about eating a pineapple from Scarface? Hey Google. No, I think if you won't type it, probably is not supposed to go and search for it either. No, I haven't seen Scarface, to be honest. I might be culturally doxing myself, but I haven't seen Scarface. Bad establishment joke on. My heart needed a warm blanket this morning, so naturally I was drawn to this face. Nothing big, just two of my fosters leaving, and I wasn't supposed to get this attached. Of course, I talk about attachment, Kelly. Yeah, it creates rigidity in our being, right? Because now those two little babies being taken away from you, that attachment feels like strings pulling on your heart. You're like, oh, love me, babies. And I don't know if I'm really better than that, Kelly. I'm more so with plants, right? My heart really feels with the fact that I'm moving and I have to leave Pippi behind. However, you know, I'm okay with leaving Pippi behind to an extent. When it comes to like my plants, however, it's more like a care thing, right? Like Pippi is gonna be Pippiing, whether I'm here or not. Your doggos will be doggoing wherever they go. But certain things need even more of our attention, right? Like maybe you start a business or you 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 start making a painting. You're not going to ask another person to take over for you because you've gotten attached in that way, right? To the result, to what it's supposed to look like, to what it's supposed to be. So yeah, maybe we can all get better at being less attached. However, will being less attached be the best option? In some ways. I think again it's a balance thing, right? So I'm sending you love and Skelly. Your attachment isn't a bad thing. At least I don't believe so. Melty, I think I tell people that we were raised in the wild. We choose to become feral after a long period of serving the civilized world. Yeah. Yeah, bruh. I watched American Psycho once. And then I was like, okay, I'm checking out, bro. I'm checking out. I don't need the capitalism. Thank you very much. I'm saying this like it really is that way. I watched American Psycho only when I was like 23 or something. So I've already been down the tangent of hell nah before I watched that movie too. The fact that movie is being idolized as like goals, that's the thing that's the most shocking to me, bro. Like that movie is supposed to be like a call to awareness, to be like, hey, look at this. This no good. You see, this no good. We don't want to go here. And then some people are like, oh, yeah, that's so cool. I want to totally be that. And I'm like, no, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Please pay attention. Pay attention harder. Speaking of mice and hunting and such, my cat has a talent. She can catch birds without hurting them. Do they remain unhurt? That's the real question, Ellie. Joe Squeeze, appreciate the love and sending it right back. Thank you so much, Kelly. You're right though. Plants don't like change. No. No. So I'll probably wait. They can technically still grow a little bit later. My harvest window is gonna be like between 11 and 17, now maybe up to like 21st of April. And technically my grow window is open until end of May even, relatively speaking. So I should be fine. I can push it a little bit later. They are autumn flowers after all. Going in a Dixie Drive, sending both of you blessings. Stay safe. We live on the water, which means that we have huge swamp rats that live everywhere. We had rats before the cats decided to move in. She just showed up one day and killed all the rats. Actually killed all the rats, bruh. I would be scared as a cat of swamp rats. So getting dragged into the swamps by rats, that sounds like nightmare material. Am I the only one? Right? That does sound horrifying. She's the best cat I've ever been around. Not super friendly, but she's sweet with me. Bless. Melt. Wet scarves are much cheaper than a super suit. I do the wet scarves, Mojo. The wet scarves are like my first go-to. But the wet scarves is what made me think about the suits, right? Where technically it's just a material science. And we already have really good rubbers these days, like really good rubbers. Like you would be surprised how good the rubbers are that we have right now. So I think, within the next 10 years, material science should catch up for us to be able to do that. I just want one. I want it already, Mojo. I don't want to wait. The wet scarves help, but the wet scarves don't protect me from UV damage quite as much, unfortunately. Doesn't cool down all of me and makes me a little bit uncomfortably wet sometimes as well. Depends on how much I add. I wasn't raised in the wild. I just became feral. Yeah. We weren't raised in the wild. We were raised in civilization and chose the wild, right? Instead of being the other way around. We were like, yeah, no, dude. No, thank you. Wild for me, please. Joe sounds like she's living the perfect cat life. The rats in the UK are pretty ballsy. Runs in packs after dark and such. I'd be worried about my cat with those lot. Is a water rat a muskrat? I think that could be another way for to call them, yeah. I don't think I can control who I get attached to or how much. I would make a terrible Jedi. Love is true. Love is true. Maybe your willingness and ability to get attached is just your open heart, Rosanna. So maybe it shouldn't be something that you would need to or aspire to being good at, right? Not getting attached is a halfway joke, but I'm feral myself. I'm also such a hobbit though. I like cozy things and comfortable places and books and tea. That does sound nice. What more do you need? Right? Friendships. Even the hobbits had friends, right? Even the hobbits had guests. So don't sell yourself short on those fractals as well, dear friend. Kelly, not muskrats, not nutria, just huge freaking rats that swim everywhere. We have raccoons in this area as well, but the raccoons don't mess with the rats. Instead of coons and garbage, it's 1 pound rats. 1 pound? It's 450 grams. I can deal with that. I can fight 1 pound rats. As soon as they go to 10 pounds. 10 pounds is where I start getting uncomfortable. Hey Google, what do muskrats weigh? Muskrats, yeah. Now we're getting up to 4 pounds. Hey Google. Hey Google, what do nutria weigh? Uh, okay. I was tripping out for a second. No, I'm still tripping out. However, nutria have visibly large front teeth that are yellow to orange in color. Adults weigh 15 to 20 pounds for adults. Yeah. You see, now I'm starting to, I don't know if I want to say get scared, but I realize that, I might have bitten off more than I can chew. If a 20-pound rat is running at you, hey Google, show me what a nutria looks like. A nutrient looks like. Please, no. Oh, where is me? Nutria. Freaking yes, bro. I'm not having a good time, dude. If a 20-pound rat that looks like that runs at you, dude, what do you do? What do you do? Do you run away? Yes. I shall run the other direction. You can have this land. It's yours, Nutria. Thank you. I shall run away. 1 pound is a huge rat, by the way. Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. The birds remain unhurt because when she catches them, she'll carry them for a minute and then she's like, she didn't plan that far. So she lets them go and they fly away. Oh, that's nice, at least, Ellie. Our cats make sure to murder the birds and consume them. No mercy whatsoever. I have saved a few birds from the teeth, from the jaws of death, and they do fly away afterwards, but never have I seen our cats do that intentionally. I'm right there with you, Kelly says to Loizana. I can get attached to rock if the light hits it just right. Love is true in all its forms. Exactly. Swingy, swampy rats are for sissy. Chicago's have been voted for the most rat-infested city for the 9th year in a row. Our cats have to fight tiny garbage otters. She usually goes back to try again, so maybe to her it's just a somewhat morbid game of tag. Yeah, it might just be. That is kind of what cats do, though, right? Other exports are armed, criminal assault, and terrible and unwanted options about pizza. Rodents of unusual size. Wait until the hearts about nutria itch. What the hell happened? Where are we right now? How did we get here? Love is true. I have options. Yeah. Feel good about that as well, right? Really, seriously. See the fact of your options having as a massive blessing, something to be extremely grateful for. There are so many people who do not have the options that we do. Like just this bud that I'm vaping right now, technically. Not many people have this option. Some people live in states and countries where it's illegal to do this right now. Mm. I crushed a bit of Durban poison. To me, it's a super fruity strain until it turned to black licorice. There we go. Now we're in the black licorice territory. There we go. Maybe I'll heat it up a little bit more, get the last little juice. There we go. Still a lot left, actually. Nice. Love is true. Durban poison. Our own land race. Something that grew here on South African dirt for who knows how long. For me to have this experience right now. My nose has been feeling a little bit stuffy. I don't know if it's been bothering you, friends, but it's nice to have all of you here. We just have possums, very much like a giant rat, even though they're marsupials. Yeah, possums look very derpy, right? So they feel less threatening to me for some reason. First time responses for possums include what is that thing? Slash options are excited and terrifying and yet so easy to overlook sometimes. It's true, Kelly. It is true. Like, and I wonder why that is sometimes as well. How much of it is our own fault? How much of it is the manipulation of our beings into believing that we do not have options, right? Or believing that we only have some options and other options are unavailable to us, right? There's a bunch of fractal there. It's even a mix here. We have some raccoons, we have some possums, and there's the feral cat colony living in the sewers. I'm pretty sure they've drawn up maps. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rich society of rats living under there. To be completely honest, Sam, maybe you could have like a whole little story written about that, huh, Mrs. Writer? Like, in one day, you're gonna have to write for me, Sam. I hope you're ready, dear friend. We're going to have to, tell stories. I'm gonna be whipping my whip. I know. Get them. Get them buttons. I say to Sam, write me this fantabulastic, story about this rich, vibrant sewer rat society. I mean, I think, was it Flushed Away? Wasn't Flushed Away technically a dive into that whole rich under society, of like rats living. I loved. Is it Flushed Away? Hey Google, Flushed Away, the movie. Yeah, yeah, it's Flushed Away, a 2006 comedy. I believe it was claymation. Leave. Holy goodness. Actually, did pretty well at the box office as well, relatively speaking. Flushed Away. It's basically a story of a rat that lives in like basically this super rich family's house, and then his family leaves, and then another like disgusting sewer rat breaks into the house and just starts wrecking shit. Has absolutely no respect. It's like a rat, like a bad rat. And I like rats can be like that. That's the best part. I should watch that movie again, to be completely honest. Yeah. And then he gets flushed away. He gets flushed down the toilet as well. And then the whole story revolves around him trying to get back home, right? Following the hero's journey. No, 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 no. Don't have maps. Possums are like the nicest animals. If you startle them, they act tough. But if you sit down and just talk to them, they'll walk right up to you and chill with you. That's so kind of wholesome. I would love to do something like that. I love possums. Durban Poison. Hey, Isaac. Blessing to you. Durban Poison. That's an old one. Haven't seen it in years. The Sour Diesel is my queen right now. I have wanted to get my hands on some Sour Diesel again. I haven't smoked Sour Diesel in like 5 years, maybe going on 6 years now. Almost going on 7 years, technically, if I turn 26 this year. Goodness. So I want to get myself some good sour diesel. I don't know where though, right? Maybe I'll have to grow my own. Maybe I'll do that. That could be the best. Sewer rats sounds like a whole vibe, right? Recently saw some vids on YouTube of people who keep possums as pets. They are very affectionate. Sounds awesome. They must be a possum whisperer then, Joe, because they only ever hiss at me with their little needle thieves. I mean, realistically, right? You're like a giant. You're like one of the titans to the humans in Attack on Titan. You would want to hiss at something like that as well, to try and defend yourself. There are nonprofits who do what they can to TNR the colony, but it's fucking huge. I don't know what TNR means, but I don't know if I want to know. I think it's bad. I think let's just think of it as TNR. 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 It's a sound. The rats love it. They love getting TNR'd. I hope. Oh no, please. Please do not illuminate my mind. I want to live in my blissful ignorance. There. Hey Sam, write this thing for me. What do I look like? Somebody who's not lazy. Whips whip. He goes, no, please, that's loud. Oh, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop it. It's like, no, you're supposed to get to work. No, I don't want to do that, right? Then I'm gonna keep whipping this whip. No, please. No, please. Anything but that. Then do the work. No, anything but that as well. Anything but that too, please. Oh, sending you love, Sam. We're gonna get through to you slowly but surely. I don't know how. I don't know what. I don't know. What the carrot is gonna have to be, but we're gonna figure it out. Me and you together, Sam. And then before we know it, your book series will be available for people to read in the world as well. Before they get completely locked in their, direct AI to brain feeds. Please, Sam, get your books published. Nudgy, nudge. Nudgy, nudgy kicks off the cliff. Oh, actually, she's flying. Okay, good thing. She's okay. She's flying. Whew. Oh, Ali, I just treat animals like they understand the stuff I'm saying to them. And many, many times it seems like they do actually understand English, or they just feel my intentions. They're like, this person is not trying to fuck with me. He's just making sounds at me right now. They're like, this is fine. He wouldn't be making sounds at me like that if he wanted, like, he would be like flinch, like there would be some other energy coming, you know. And I get it as well. I get what you're talking about, at least, Joshua. I do the same with the cows. Like the cows aren't necessarily scared of me unless I'm trying to chase them and I make loud noises behind them, right? But if I'm like just going about my business, walking in the direction and there's cows in the way, I don't try and like scare them. I try and make it clear to them that my intention is not to harm them. My intention is to get somewhere, right? And then I go there without any, almost like predatory looking, right? Like I'm not like while I'm moving, oh, looking at these animals. It's more like a I'm moving, right? And I feel like that also communicates a certain level of intention to them or intensity. Can confirm, Joe. Cats fully understand English. They don't give a fuck about what we're saying most of the time. They're like, right. They're just babbling, bro, like a bunch of children. Y'all thought I was tripping. I'm metabolizing some jungle pie right now. Is that a strain? I'm guessing. I feel like me and Louisiana is in the same lost train right now. I'm thinking it's a strain. Sounds good, bro. Bless you. I do better with squirrels and chipmunks. I had a chipmunk try to take my seeds that I was eating. They were unsalted, so I gave them one. They're just chilled there and nibbled away. I don't know if salted would be bad for them. I think if you only fed them salted nuts, that would be bad for them. But a salted seed here and there. Hey Google, can I give a salted seed to my chipmunk? A salted seed. Keep in mind, excess salt can be taxing on their small bodies as their kidneys work overtime to filter out the sodium. That's one reason I resist feeding the animals foods that are prepared and seasoned for human consumption. Even though I do agree with that, even though I do believe that, I also do believe they like salt, right? For the same reason you like salt. Again, moderation. Why am I going into this fractal? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about being the chipmunk. Would I want a little bit lightly salted seed versus not salted seed? I'd probably be stoked either way. Would I be more stoked for the salted one? If I get one salted every 10 seeds, will I be more excited for the one versus the other 10? Surely we can do studies. That's easy. That's easy data to find. No. Feral cats who have been TNR'd can be identified by the chipped ear. Ah, okay. Not too bad. Jungle Pie, bro. You sure that ain't currently trying to set up something very similar to TNR for the dogs out in the res, heading out there today to meet with a band leader to see how we can work together to get this idea off the road. Bless you. On the road, off the ground. Bless you, Kelly. I hope it succeeds. I hope your meeting with that band leader goes well. It's good that you're connecting with people. That's how we make things happen. Sending you blessings on your journey. That's what I love about holding snacks. It's an entirely cooperative experience, not like cats or dogs, where they're an affection or a recognition. Yeah. It's interesting that you articulate that, Isaac, because I've been trying to explain that to people as well as to why I enjoy snakes as well. You know, I don't find snakes scary. And like holding a snake, as you said, there's a certain cooperation, like a mutual holding of one another, right? Maybe that's another way to say it as well. When you're giving your dog pets or your cat pets, rarely do you feel held by them as well, right? They can feel held by you, surely, but it's hard for you to feel held by them. We're like a snake, you're holding each other. I don't know if this is weird to articulate, but I like your way of seeing it as well, man. That cooperation. Either weed or pie, made from rats, mangoes, and ginger. It's like snakes, totally consents you're chill and calm, and they realize this giant, capable of crushing my head, is just chill with me. I'm gonna chill too. Exactly. And then it technically feels your body heat as well. So you're like giving it energy through this exchange of you two holding one another. So it feels extra comfortable. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Anxious. If you're anxious and nervous, they'll strike because they don't like the vibes. It's very cool. Exactly, dude. Like all of us are way more aware than we actually give ourselves credit for. And the universe only has so many options when you output a certain vibe. If you output the vibe of the universe is gonna like try and calm you down, or like try and put you, like push you down to the ground, try and calm you down. Like, what is the universe gonna do with you in that state where if you're comfortable and soft and receiving, the universe can give you things instead of having to try and calm you down, subdue you, kind of vibe. If you're going to give critters seeds and peanuts and such, it's best to go with unsalted. Yeah, according to the data as well, right? Because the excess sodium can be bad for the little kidneys. And I understand that, right? So do not feed your critters only salted peanuts. However, if you're eating salted peanuts and you decide to take one of those little salted ones and give it to this little pet, I don't think that's going to overdo its sodium intake, right? And I think it would enjoy the little bit of sodium in that moment. But I ain't no professionals, right? I don't know anything. I know nothing actually. Oh goodness, please, can I know some things? If you're anxious and nervous, press again. Snakes are very docile. I think something like 10% of all snake species are considered to be aggressive, but even those snakes can be handled without much issue. Sure. I forgot how much my Google loves Melt's voice. And she ignores all my needs, but Mel says it, and she will respond immediately. It's just like, wow, tell me how I can help all of the devices across the world starts perking up their ears. I want to get myself a rabbit, but I don't know if I want to get the first generation. I kind of want to wait for the R2, but I also know that if I wait for the R2, it's no longer going to be as cheap as it is right now. And it is going to technically be less legacy eventually. And some of your friends are like, we have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, bro. There's a new little device that came out recently. It's $200. It has a camera and a scroll wheel and a screen and a speaker. And it's basically a LAM device, a large action model. So the actions you take with your little thumbsticks on your cell phone screen to do things on your phone, that little device was trained on all of that data of how to manipulate a phone screen and phone interfaces and phone apps. So you can then teach this little device how to manipulate all of your interfaces and then tell that device what it's supposed to do, and it will listen. Technically, it will listen to you because you can use your phone to Google things as well to give you information, right? So instead of me saying the thing and then all of your friends' things being like, let me listen to this thing that he wants to say as well, I can go the other route and just go press my button and speak into it, right? I don't have to actually prompt it. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to get the first generation one. Maybe. I can't ship it to South Africa, so if I do get it, I'll have to have one of you friends, take delivery for me. Some of you friends might know about this little piece of tech. It's pretty cute looking. I don't want to accidentally hurt them in the long run if I'm not really cautious about what I give the critters. It's exactly true. I get you, Ellie. When I was at my girlfriend's house, Melty would activate her phone a lot. I'm sorry. Melty, I posted a video in Discord General of myself at your age devouring a watermelon. You gotta post the pineapple now. I deleted the pineapple video, but I'll take another one, right? I feel like if I want to do it, I should make it especially weird, where I should just like look into the camera while eating the pineapple, the whole of it, right? Because the video I took, I was like, I'm gonna probably watch some piece of content while eating this piece of pineapple. So I'm gonna just put this camera up, filming me eating the pineapple skin and all, right? And then I watched the video back, and it just looked like I was, as I said, dissociating, like lost in thought, eating this pineapple, and that works. But I think it would be worse if I was looking at the watcher, and then in it's a what do you call it again? A time lapse as well of me not breaking eye contact for like the 5 minutes it takes me to eat the pineapple or whatever. And just synthing pineapple skin and all, not breaking eye contact once. That's probably the way I should do it, you know, if I'm going to make a video, to kind of like lean into the ridiculousness of the whole situation. I should check out that Zano eating watermelon video. Let's see how quickly it will load. Oh, so cute. Bro, my Discord interface is crapping itself right now. Yeah, nice. I don't know if I was supposed to show you. Like, I'm so curious about how old this video is, Sano. What you use to capture the footage. What you use, like it's not now playing. There we go, it's playing again. Yeah, this is a good video. This is good. You can show. Like it's not working properly, but bruh, can you have mercy on me? Like I really dislike Discord the more and more I use. I think I get the idea though. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I want to give as well if I want to make it like a pineapple eating video. More personal. More personal. Not me looking off the distance. I need my squirrels all sorts of snacks and cakes and graham crackers and saltine crackers. They love that kind of stuff. They let me know if they don't want it. They just sit patiently for something else nice. I know what that is. Regular of habit of yelling cancel as soon as he said the hubby would say, hey, I automatically swoop in with the sabotage. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel like this alone justifies the $200 it'll cost me to buy myself this little extra device. Right? It is so excessive, but have you heard? I have heard of the AI. I have heard of that humane AI pin. I think it's worse. I think it's worse than this piece of technology, right? Sheerly because it's $500 cheaper. Like that alone means it's $500 better in my mind, right? It's like, oh yes, this thing practically does the same thing, and it's $500 cheaper, right? Like I can do a lot of things with $500. I can pay rent for 5 months for 5 months with $500 in South Africa. All right, so yeah, that's why the humane pin doesn't really have my attention right now. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's it. I don't think it's it just yet. You know, maybe the evolution thereof could be useful. The question I'm asking is, would I want one, right? Because it's gonna be like I wear scarves as well, so it's gonna have to be on my scarf on the outside or something, Kristen, for the camera to be able to see the outside world. So yeah, probably won't use that one. However, an extra device, that's the other thing. Do I want even more devices on my person? As I just look around, I already have too many things. I would like for my suit to be made out of micro machines that can then assemble themselves. I need a cup to put my water in. The micro machines of like my sleeve disassemble and then turn themselves into cup, right? And then, you know, like maybe I'll have like some extra volume of micro machines here at my sides or something, and then they can move up and cover my arm again. Yes, yes, I want. Please, future. Please, singularity. Give me super suits. It doesn't have to be like that super even, right? It just has to be, you know, manipulatable micro machines. Is that too much to ask? The universe goes, yes, Ram. That's very lot to ask. Or you're technically a bunch of micro machines, and technically you're not, you know, because they're even more complicated than machines, which doesn't even make sense to our minds. But yes, you know, so and it took billions, literal billions of years for us to get to this point. I hope we can get to that point in the next 20. I'd be happy. If I can do that stuff as a 44-year-old, I'll be happy, right? That's 18 years from now. The next 10 years is going to be pretty big for AI coming online. The next 10 years after that, it's going to be pretty big for implementing the technology that we invented with our AI. Right? Right? Surely I can have a suit that I can disassemble and reassemble in different shapes as well, creating different colors. Because technically, with material science and with nanomachines, instead of creating colors as screens, you can create colors as light capturing devices, right? That's some of the colors. For instance, the blue you see on butterflies' wings are structured colors instead of, like projected colors or mixed colors. In other words, as the light, the full spectrum light, hits that butterfly's wings, it has structures that literally are shaped in certain ways. So as the wavelengths, the different colored light's wavelengths come in and hit that wing, the only wavelength of light that is allowed to escape again is that of the blue color. So we would be able to, with nanomachine, clothing, literally manipulate the structure of the outside surface, and in doing so change the colors of our clothing as well to the person watching. And one of the things that I want to do, as you friends might know, is create designs for these pieces of clothing, and then I can like daily basically push, in the same way that I make my flowers, push new clothing for you friends to wear, right? Maybe you find a flower that really feels like you, and you keep wearing that flower every day for the rest of your life. But if you want to, you can wear a new flower every day, right? And ideally, I want my Patreon to be attached to like a frame in one of your rooms as well. This is again my ego speaking, but a a screen, right? An LED screen or whatever against the wall, and then every single day as I post my Patreon flowers, it just switches out that flower. So you get to have a unique new piece of work of art in your home every single day, right? And it keeps changing as I keep making new ones. So I don't know where I'm going with this, just like hope. I guess that's where I'm going with this. Like options. We have so many options for cool stuff that we can do going forward into the future. And I want to thank you, friends, for giving me these options. Seriously. Bless you. First generation rabbit sounds like you want some fuzzy buns. I thought that as well. Nay, Ellie, I know what it should not always be healthy for them. They're fat and happy and they breed like rabbits. I have a squirrel mama who has had babies that had babies, and I'm the grandpa. They're happy and seemingly healthy too. They do get a wide variety of other pieces of food in their diet as well, I'm sure. New tech always makes me nervous. I also consciously try not to let myself become too absorbed in tech. I consciously let myself be absorbed in tech, Ellie. I believe I am technology, right? At least the physical I am that is saying these words right now, right? There is the I am that is beyond the words, that is witnessing the words, and then there's the I am that is this flesh, that is this vehicle speaking. This vehicle is technology. You and this thing you are is the highest form of technology on this planet, right? Like we have this cool tech and we're going to get cooler tech, but that tech is still going to be far inferior to the technology that is you, the experiencer, right? So that's the way I kind of see it. Like no technology will ever be able to catch up with me, right? At least I don't think it will. I hope it does. I really do. But it doesn't seem like it would be feasible necessarily, right? I am going to have to shift my consciousness into a new form of technology and then evolve on that plane. Like that's the only thing that now scares me, to say it like that. Nancy. Is it Nancy? Or is it Ali? I think it might have been Ali. Yeah, it was Ali. Right? You are already the highest form of technology. That's the point for me. So any new technology that comes up is being derived from this high technological thing that you are. right? So, and the reason we make these things is ultimately to serve this high technology version of yourself. And it's like a symbiosis. Like I believe I'm already technologically and biologically a more evolved version of humanity than the people who were living 100 years ago. Not from a place of being pompous or from a place of feeling like I'm superior, purely from a place of information, right? From the information that I have been able to absorb, the amount of options I have as a human being in comparison to a person living in the year 1924, right? Like your options as a person in the year 1924 is, grow food, maybe like work in some sort of factory producing weapons, maybe work in the medical industry trying to take care of wounded soldiers, or you're literally on the battlefield dying to fire, right? To people shooting things at you. Those are your options just 100 years ago right now. So from that worldview, from that circumstance, you do not have the option to be an awakened being, right? To be evolved, to consider your actions 7 generations into the future. And I feel again that is like a thing that we need to be taking responsibility for as people living in this age, is to be super grateful and to be super vigilant with using our current circumstances and going forward and trying to make the most of it. It's easier said than done though, right? How do we use our technology well? How do you use this piece of technology well? And I believe if you use it to love instead of to hate, you are using it well, right? Because you are capable of both. You can hate all you want, but you can also love all you want, right? And those are your options ultimately. And you're the one going to have to make those options, choose those options. And unfortunately, again, it's easier said than done because sometimes we experience things, we have options taken away from us, and then we hate, right? Let me just say it like that, vague enough to hit something in all of us at least. Slurping on a watermelon. Eatity, eatity. They have generational eating disorders, though. The, the squirrels? Generational eating disorders. That sounds so rough. Sounds real, though. Ali, I try to avoid new tech these days as it is, but I went out and bought myself a new 12-volt drill kit the other day for 199 bucks. It's crushing my 10-year-old 18-volt, much larger drill. Yeah. And isn't that nice? Isn't it fun? I mean, it kind of sucks that our tech gets so good. You can pay cheaper for something now than you did 10 years ago for something good, right? Like in your mind, this is a good thing, and then 10 years later you pay half the price you paid and it's much better, right? Like I love stuff like that. It makes me super excited. Like the fact that people can buy cell phones. You can buy a touchscreen cell phone with cameras on both sides of the device, microphones, the ability to connect to the internet, right? What more do you need for 100 bucks? For 100 bucks, you can buy that, right? Like it's bonkers how quickly we got to where we are right now, and it's not slowing down. In fact, in fact, it is scheduled to speed up exponentially going forward. Where will we find ourselves 10 years again from now, dude? Like, what is that drill gonna look like 10 years again from now? Chipmunks and squirrels also really like raw corn on the cob. I can believe I like raw. Well, I don't know if raw, but like I can believe they would like that. Nice and soft, nice and starchy. I am happy to embrace this new tech. I giggle every time my screw goes in. Yeah, yeah, and that's what tech does for me as well, right? And that giggling every time the screw goes in analogy happens for so many things. Like this. This is a piece of technology, right? This is an evolution of the smoking of cannabis, technically speaking. For the longest time, I was smoking joints, right? So I had a filter that I rolled out of cardboard every single time. I had a small, thin sheet of paper that I burned every single time. I put weed, a lot of weed, this amount of weed in there, and then synthed it, right? Burnt it in a day every single time. Now I put a little bit of weed. There is absolutely no burning of anything. I heat up the outside chamber. If I had to go back a few thousand years to people using bud back in the days and show them this little piece of technology, they would also probably be pretty, confused about what it is I'm doing and why I would do it that way. But it is that every single time I drive in the nail, I'm like, yes, this is definitely better, right? Every single time I vape my bud instead of smoking my bud, I'm like, I'm happy that this technology exists, right? Every single time I plug in my microphones and there's wind rushing past my body and this little microphone windshield stops the sounds from happening on your friend's side, I'm like, I have this deep sense of satisfaction and like, yes, this is good, right? And that's why technology is nice to me. That's why I'm probably addicted to it. They got me. They're gonna take so much of my money. Fortunately, on the other side, technology has also allowed me to earn money, right? If not for this technology, we would have never been able to connect in the way that we have. I would have never been able to make the art that I'm making right now. And if I never could have made the art I'm making right now, I would have never been able to afford my Patreon, never having been able to, well, have a Patreon. Patreon is technology as well, if we're gonna get even more technical. So yeah, technology good, technology helpful, technology make life easy, technology not perfect, technology not equally distributed. We already live in the future. It's just not equally distributed. But these things do bleed slowly but surely. The leapfrog effect is a real thing, right? Where there are people in the middle of Africa going straight to satellite-based internet. They never had fiber. They never had copper wires. They never had ADSL point to point. They never had cell towers. They're just going straight satellite-based internet, right? That's pretty cool. Like the fact that people can just make generational leaps because of technology lifting all of us slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. It will happen eventually. I don't know if it will happen under capitalism indefinitely, eco-socialism for the win, but we'll see. We'll see if we can convince enough people to put down the bullshit, pick up the love again. I have 40 pounds of deer corn, squirrels, and cows. Love that junk. 1 second. $100 for rent. Here, that would get you somewhat insulated refrigerator box. Yeah. My rent's gonna be, I said a little bit more than $100. Little bit, like $110. It depends on the exchange rate of the dollar. But yeah, that's gonna be my rent. It's nice. I am gonna live with three other people, so that changes things. But still, then I would have paid $400. That would have been my max. I would have paid $400 if I wanted the 3-bedroom apartment for myself. So yeah, love is true. Maybe with a roommate. Yeah, exactly. Been AFK for a bit. Oh, the living in a box. It's maybe with a roommate. I love snacks too. A friend of mine has several, and they're so much fun. Bless. I didn't know you would be someone who actually likes snacks as well. Otherwise, then that makes me happy. Harry Potter room. They can lay down as long as you don't grow. Yeah, butterflies have like 8 color cones in their little eyeballs. Imagine that. Seeing 8 different colors and how they combine together. My parents have a frame that changes to new pictures of Henry, and then my sister uploads them the other side of the country. Love is true. Isn't that stuff cool? Like I want to create a product that is just like, melt flowers. Melt flowers. And you put it in your house and you get to see melt flowers, right? That's the gig. That's the situation. I have a townhouse. We had a townhouse when we were in our 20s, and we went with a guy who rented the AC closet that was under the stairs. His rent was $100 a month when you were in your 20s. Yeah. So, come to South Africa. I keep telling you, friends, over the next 5 years, figure out some way to earn money online. And if you earn more than $500, technically you are ready to move to South Africa. You might not live comfortably, at least at first, but you will be able to live here, right? And if you can up your salary to like, that's what I'm aiming for. I wanna get up to around $500 on the Patreon, right? If I can get up to that, that would be pretty, I'd be pretty stoked about that. But if you can get up to $1,000, you're basically living the same kind of lifestyle teachers can expect to live, accountants, clerks, any service industry person, high level service industry person can, like, if they're lucky, expect to earn just above 10,000 rand, so just above $500 a month. Come to South Africa. I'm gonna keep repping. I hope one day there's gonna be like some sort of affiliate thing where the South African government gives me pushback every single time an American friend comes to our country. Like, I want to make money inviting you friends to South Africa, right? And then you friends are going to move to South Africa and you're gonna love it. And you're gonna be like, this is great. We should have done this decades earlier. We would have saved so much cash. The American dollar is so strong. Thank you, friends, for sharing your American dollars with me. Truly, it's a blessing. Love is true. Technology can create clarity. I think I'm a little bit tense and more distracted. There we go. Weird. He gave to himself. If I'm in the highest form of technology, I want my money back. If I'm the highest form of technology, I want my money back. Technology sucks. Bruh, do you know how much it takes for you to have this experience right now? Really? The fact that you have eyes and ears and taste sensors and olfactory nerves and different regions of your brain and different layers of your brain and different things connected to different nerves, and you have a spine that has these nerve endings in it, and you have these limbs that are filled with bones, and you have these intricate muscle groups that are like, bruh, like, this technology sucks. I don't know what technology you've been exposing yourself to, bro, but you should hook me up, man. Yeah, see, bro. Maybe we just need to uh, remind ourselves. We need to gain some perspective. Just because the technology hurts doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's bad. Just means that the code, unfortunately, at this point still falls apart. But we can technology for that as well, dude. We are technologizing for that right now. No, 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 no. Life is a funny running stairs. I think it's possible to exist harmoniously with technology, but I don't think the direction we're going in is necessarily it. It tends to be more of a distraction than an enhancement. Well, Ellie, again, this is a use of our technology in the direction that is going, and you can call this, and that's kind of the point. You have these options. Option one is you can see this as a distraction. Option two, you can see this as conscious evolution, that we're having conversations in this space that are important to our journeys in life. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having these conversations, that the people that we are and the challenges that we'll face are going to be, at least in some part, narrative based. We're going to have to be dealing with people's opinions. We're going to have to be dealing with complex ideas. We're going to have to be dealing with more and more noise, right? So I believe we're using this technology to enhance our lives. But again, it's you. It's not the technology. It is you and your use of it. That is the problem. And that is the, hey. Can you please move around, please? Please, please, please. We're licking ourselves. No, please, 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 bro. Please, 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 please. Please, please. He thinks I'm giving him pets right now. He's like, am I getting attention? Technically, yes. But the licking of your groin directly here in my field of vision does not serve me. No, please. Yuri, please. Thank you. Like, he goes right back to it as well. There's definitely like some sort of thing, where you just like the sounds of another creature. Sometimes it's people, like people chewing. I don't have a problem with people chewing. I do have a problem with the sound of licking yourself. It, yeah, it reaches a bullshit meter. Like, nope. No, please, no, stop. 100 years ago was the Roaring Twenties in the US, no wars here then. Prohibition was an issue though, and the rise of organized crime, fantastic art and architecture as well though. Absolutely stunning. Thank you for enlightening me. You know, I'm thinking more about like the global perspective, right? What people were experiencing. Maybe I'm thinking as well a little bit too narrow, or I was thinking a little bit too broad and saying the 1920s, that is technically limiting myself to a narrow form of existence or a narrow window of existence. So thank you for adding more depth, Ali. Technology can be the window to create clarity, but it's also a window that creates far more mind clutter than our minds ever had the ability to process. And we'll technology for that as well, Doc Dad. That's kind of the point, bro. That's the point of technology. That technology is kind of like iterative. You know, it's a building onto itself actively, right? Like it's like tool making, technically rudimentary, making tools out of rocks eventually led to us having these pieces of technology, right? You can't have one without the other. You can't have this high form of technology without that low form of technology. And we wouldn't have the things that we are comfortable with in our day-to-day lives. Things as simple as toilet paper. Toilet paper as we have it right now is a modern function of technology. Is it the best way to, you know, serve ourselves when it comes to that fractal? I don't know. Probably not. Water is probably better. For the longest time, and with our growing population, it wasn't necessarily feasible to have that much extra infrastructure built, right? Or maybe it just wasn't cultural to do it in that way or whatever. But there are so many small things that we take for granted in our lives that is a part of this technological evolution that our species is a part of, right? And if we didn't have technology as it is right now, to the point of not being able to process it with our minds, we wouldn't have the things that our minds don't even have to process, right? The stuff that you don't think about, the stuff that you kind of take for granted on your day-to-day life. There's a line that I'm remembering from, what's that vampire movie with Nicolas Cage? Renfield? Thank you. Yeah, Renfield or something like that. Where he walked into like a basic, and this is not me trying to be mean, this is me just trying to like share the extreme, in a basic looking apartment, right? Like the average, what you would expect an apartment to look like, what that looked like. And he just awoken from like a 200 or 300-year slumber or whatever. And he walks into this apartment and he goes, I knew the future will bring luxuries. I did not think it would make them commonplace. Right? That we live in the future right now to the point where luxuries, a toilet, right, that has flushing water would be a luxury that not even kings, like kings and queens, you know, royalty could afford 300, 400 years ago, right? They were pooping in steel buckets in their rooms and people had to take those steel buckets out of their rooms, right? Like we live in a place of, you know, so much luxury. I feel my tolerance for some reason is very limited. I think it's the strain as well. The strain does kind of like add a certain layer of like tightness, like I have some lemon pudding in my grinder teeth. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. That is lemonine. Definitely lemonine. I am sure of it. Give me a window to create learning. I'm helping the guy. I think I'm sleeping indoors. Are jerks. We were humanitarians, bro. We would never let use our showers and our kitchen all the time as long as they were not crazy. I'm messing with you, Swampy. Love is true. I saw an overview of the microphones inside of my tiny headphones. And man, it was crazy. I saw a cool overview of the microphones inside of the tiny headphones. And man, it was crazy. Yeah, where we can have like microphones inside of our headphones these days. So there is a thing listening to what is being projected into your ears. And if it hears there is sounds coming in from the outside environment, it will just add certain wave frequencies to cancel out those sounds coming into your ears. So you just end up hearing your music. Right? Like our technology is it's getting so cool right now. And that's just a basic noise cancellation. That's not even that new. Technology is ultimately neither good nor evil. It's all about how you use it. Yes. That's what concerns me, though. It can be used to spread ideas, to innovate, to make life better for people. On the other hand, it can be used to destroy, to spread misinformation and fear, to act as a tool for people with greedy and ill intentions, to exert power over others and prevent the sharing of ideas. And the point for me, Ali, is that those are our options, right? If you believe the option of destroy, of misinform, of hurt people is bad, then you have a responsibility, yesterday's stream topic in part, to be the good, right? That's the point I keep making in this stream as well. Like there's no getting out of it, right? There's no getting out of our current predicament. There's no getting out of AI. There's no getting out of robotics walking amongst us. This is our reality. This is what's coming. However, we have options when it comes to the way that we respond. We have options when it comes to the way that we use these tools. And I believe, biasly so, that you people, us people, are good people, right? And as a result, we're going to use these tools because they're going to be used. They're going to be available. And the more good people that use these tools, the more good people are using these tools, right? So if there are any bad people using these tools, the more good people we have, the more good we have. So it's up to you. If you are worried about bad people taking over the world, then be a good person. It's up to you, dear friends. You have a lot more power. And now, with AI as a tool that you can literally carry around with you on your mobile device, you have a lot more power than any other human being has had in existence, than kings have had before. They'll try and convince you that it's not so, but it is. Lemonine es mio buono. Yes, yes, Kristen. I love lemonine. Like I realize that about myself as well. I think it might be my favorite terpene profile. It really is nice. It's so sharp. You know, like you're not confused. Like you're really sure that there's something going on there. Yes, sir. That's really nice. Because I'm missing a bunch still. I'm trying to catch up, but you friends are so lovingly communicating. Sorry if I'm letting you wait. Food comment. I need to buy a new vape. I've been smoking my lungs to tar in the USA. Yeah, dude. If you're gonna buy a vape, this is a relatively cheap one. I wanted to buy myself a vape as well, and some of them were like $300, $400, and I was like, no. This one was 80 bucks. 80 bucks I could swing. I could make sense. And if you friends haven't noticed, if I haven't said it enough, whew, I really am happy with it. Thank you, Dynavap team. There is Nancy. We were talking about you earlier, friend. Sending blessings. Man, a lot came of that one. That one is definitely going to take us on a journey. Let's see. Tastes for A couple of days. I posted a couple of pics of my friend's neck in Discord just now, and then realized I'm like 10 minutes behind on the live stream. I moved from phone to PC, and something went wonky. It's okay. Sending you love and Sloazana. That happens to me a lot. Bless. You're still here. That's what's important. I'm listening on double speed, trying to catch up. But it's stressing me out. Me talking. I've posted on Discord General 1 of the cool pics. We get to see a lighthouse completely covered in ice on the Lake of Michigan. Let's see some of the photos our friends have sent us. Skibbity bobbity, scoop de doo. Scoom de doom de doom de doom de doom doom scoom. My Discord is being so cooperative. My Discord is great. My Discord is so fun to use. Every time I open my Discord, it fills me with joy. Every time I use my Discord, I am inspired. Hey, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Joy Viv is in the comments on the general. Are you here, Joy Viv? Are you here right now? Mel, did you try my tips about Discord in South Africa? I don't think I have, Kristen. Might have missed those. Got an early meeting today. Bless you, Kristen. Thank you for sending us lovins. I'll find a link in place. Saw table. Boom. Dino Vamp. Yes. The Dino Vampires. Bruh, these photos. I'm sorry, Loazana. It might be like a Canada thing as well. I don't know. Isn't Zano from Canada? Like my previous photos are also not loading. Right? Like this is my live stream running. So there's like no bandwidth problem. It can download information if it needs to. I'm calm. I am kind. I am present. I am aware of the beauty of the clouds and of the trees and of the birds singing, flying through the sky like they're dancing. I am here. I am right now. I am confused. I am no longer confused. I am reading comments again. I'm sorry. I am distracted, it seems. You can say collaborative, creative side of technology, the side that lifts people up, helps people with disabilities, and allows scientists to communicate across thousands of miles. Yes, that's, I believe, the future we are heading towards, Ali. You know, if you look at the trajectory, if you look at the averages, right, we're doing more of that than we're doing the bad, right? The bad is still happening, but it's slowly but surely losing the popularity contest, right? It's not that fun being bad, actually, right? I guess there are fun parts of it, right? Like you get a certain neurochemical response from it, but in the same way like hard drugs can be, it's taxing, right? Like you feel exhausted if you've done something wrong and you have to keep lying about it or hiding it or being worried that whether someone knows or somebody's going to find out or somebody's going to ask something about it in a crowded setting. Like there's so much baggage that comes with living, you know, less than what you know you're supposed to be living as. So it's easier. Literally, it's going to become more popular to just not be horrible people to one another. At least that's the way I'm hoping, right? This is my own bias and me, you know, huffing copium. Can I be a handyman for rich folks? Yes, you can, Duck Dad. Yes, you can. Going to have to use some hand tools with all of those power outages. You need batteries, bro. Batteries exist. Like, the power outages are kind of bad. I get it. But if you have batteries, they technically don't even notice it, realistically speaking. And the batteries you would need won't cost you more. I did the calculations recently, right? A solar panel, the batteries to be charged by the solar panel, and an air conditioner. I am pretty peculiar when it comes to my quality of air and my comfort, especially when I'm indoors, right? If I can choose how comfortable I want to be, I want maximum comfort, right? If I'm going to embrace comfort, because going outside can be uncomfortable sometimes, and I can embrace that as well. But if I'm going to be inside, I want to embrace max comfort. So the air conditioner, and these are all like EcoFlow products. So technically, there's a premium, like a brand premium, being put on top of that as well. But a Wave 2, which is like an air conditioner of a battery. I don't think I'll have to. I'll take the battery as well, though. You know, I can go without the battery because I'll have another battery. A big battery and a solar panel. It's gonna cost me $2,000, maybe $2,500, right? I think something like that. And that means from that moment on forward, the air conditioning in my room, the power for every single one of my devices, my cell phones, my lights, my earphones, my tablet, my computers as well, will all be powered from the sun from that moment on forward. And I did my calculations. If I ran that air conditioner at its maximum voltage, which is 550 watts, for 24 hours for the whole month, it would rack up between 700 to 1,600 rands in electricity bills, right? Which translated to dollars is 45 to like 90, 45 to $85 of electricity alone, right? And these things are going to stay around. It's lithium iron phosphate, so they can like take 10,000 cycles. So I can cycle those batteries completely every single day for like 15 years, and they'll still have like 80% of their capacity. And the metals stay useful, so I can trade in the metals as well and get myself a new battery, technically by the time I need to, with even better technology. So I'm like already justifying in my mind where I'm like, yes, you know, go completely off grid, at the very least in your room for your air conditioning and electricity needs, right? And like being able to put a square on my roof. Oh goodness. Being able to put a square on my roof and then power my entire life, my live streams, the internet, everything that it is I do off that square that just eats sunlight. I don't know why, but that makes me feel very, again, it makes me feel that sensation of driving a nail in and or driving a screw in, and it's so good and smooth, and there's that torque, that satisfaction. Technology, right? Who knew we would go in this direction? I suppose it is a collaborative creative side. Bro, it took my mommy giving my daddy the come hither eyes, and 10 joyous seconds later, boom, baby duck dead. These digital frames are cool. They can hold like 1,000 pictures and just scrolls through them. Yeah, dude, licking yourself in my field of vision does not serve me. I thought I was back in yoga class for a sec. I'm, I'm sorry. I have to try and maintain my composure despite the weirdness of these moments sometimes. Like I don't know if I want to share with you what I just witnessed. Like you heard the moving of a vehicle, right? And I completely spaced out, I guess. I was unaware, but a cow fell in the dam. Or I don't know if fell is the right word. The cow put itself in the dam. And then after putting itself in the dam, realized that there was no way out of the dam after it put itself in it. So they helped, you know, and they drove the machine over to try and help lift the cow out. But it was like a calf, so it wasn't that heavy. So they ended up pulling it out. So I just witnessed them pulling a cow over the side of a dam, right? Like, what the hell's happening? Options. Options. I guess I can move forward having experienced something so novel. Hey, Susan! It's been a while. It's nice seeing your name here with us, friend. Sending you blessings. Happy stream, people. Drop it to celebrate the day. Love to you, Nancy. Blessings again. I'm not in agreement. Lemonine, pinene, stinko mean. Is stinko mean? Stinko mean is not a freaking term. I mean, I can imagine it becoming one. You know, maybe we'll breed enough and we'll find a new terpene and somebody will call it stinko mean. I kind of like it. It's kind of nice to say. I won't lie. Lemonine has been a second on Lemonine, my favorite term, next to Myrcene. Mine is also Myrcene. I'm like a Myrcene Lemonine. I wonder if there's a strain that only has like those two as his like big shiners. You know, like 50-50 Myrcene and Lemonine. Like a mango-y, lemony kind of flavor. There probably is. Maybe I'll grow one of those as well. I'm looking forward. I'm kind of like burning. Like I just wanna get on with it. I'll take some photos of my other plants, the ones that are growing in the garden, you know, in the dirt directly. They look good as well. Maybe I can show you now. Let's see if I do have cell service. So yeah, you wanna see? The air is still. Love from Texas. Love to you from South Africa, friend. $100 for a year's worth of rentals and no late fees. I'm probably missing some fractal. Oh, the library. Nice. Early meeting library. Christ, no. Manifest, you're in USA. You can get a library card from your town that you live in. Just a second myself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can have like tool libraries as well. You know, that's like the next step. To have like libraries of tools where you can go and check out tools and then bring them back as well in the same way. The air is still, the skies are gray, not a single leaf is twitching. The birds are nestling in and getting quiet. There's a low rumble in the distance that feels like being in a vacuum. The storm approaches. Doesn't look too stormy on my side, but sending you blessings for yours, Red the Bear. You friends want to go on an adventure? Yay or nay? Yay or nay for adventuring, right? I don't want to show you friends something that you're not going to be interested by. So you should let me know, right? I don't see any response. You friends are a part of this fractal, right? So you should let me know. You have the soul of a poet and the brain of a poet, the face of a poet, the stature of a poet. Love is true. Thank you, Lovazana. Oh man, Jobot, I hope you feel way better soon. Thank you. I got antibiotics now, so hopefully an upswing soon. So much love. Do please, if you have energy left in your imagination, imagine Jovan absolutely bursting of energy, feeling comfortable, being able to swallow and not having any pain or discomfort, being able to breathe free, big smiling on her face, being able to wake up early and see the sunrise and feel strong and capable of taking on the day. This is how it shall be. Before we know it, sending you love, dear Xiao. Stay strong. The air, love is true. Listen to the way you guys talk about marijuana. I listen to other conversations about it and I realize that I have no friggin' clue about weed. I mean, I didn't either, Joe Schmo. And I feel like I'm only now getting really into it, dude. Like only properly getting really into it. And it's a real, it's like with beer for me, right? I don't really care for beer that much. So I've had a few different beers in my life, you know, different flavors and different makes and different companies' renditions of it. But for me, it's always like, this is beer, you know? And then I'm like, this is beer but sweet, or this is beer but, you know, more bitter, this is beer but so and so, or whatever. But no true depth, right? Because I didn't actually spend time drinking enough beer to form a palate. And I feel now, especially with this little vape, and it being such a small amount, right? Like it really does play a role, like the bowl size. Because it's such a small amount, the flavors that is in that small little bud, the THC that's in that small little bud, plays a much larger role in the overall experience. So I feel, at least with this little thing, it has given me the room, weirdly enough, to experience more. I don't think you need to have one of those too, necessarily speaking, but it definitely does help. Louisiana, with all of these lovin's in the company of you beautiful peoples, how can I help but to feel blessed? Love is true. I like smoky, tasty buds. Yeah, exactly. Like that tastiness, does have different spectrums. And I feel maybe the best way to experiment with it, at least in my mind right now, is to grow my own, to get seeds from someone that I know will give me seeds that will be what they say on the package, and then to grow those terpenes myself so I can experience them. Healing, comforting vibrations in your direction. Rabbit, my sister, actually calls me poet. It's been one of my names for a long time. So much love to you. Bless. Rather than Joe Schmo, you should be known as Joe Po. I do like that, actually. Joe Poet. Joe Poet. I'm thinking about a dude who called himself the G Put right now during the Arpan days. And the G Put stands for greatest philosopher of our time. He would stand that that title for himself. I wonder what he's doing right now. I wonder if he's philosophizing. I hope he is. I hope he's having a cool conversation with someone. You can call me Poe if you want. I accept Poe. It does work. Joe Poe. The Pojo. Pojo. Pojo sounds like your, like, I don't know if this is cultural appropriation, but like your spirit name, Pojo. Right? Like if you're gonna be a medicine man taking people on soul journeys. Shaman Pojo. Okay, let's pull a card, shall we? Love is true. We had fun. Let's finish up. Has my audio been stable today? You friends haven't said anything, so I'm gonna assume so. Like now, when I went live today, I had, of course, the anxiety. Having experienced yesterday a certain level of understanding that my audio completely getting busted up in the middle of my stream is now something that's possible. Reminding me again of the curse of understanding. Alrighty, let's see. Let's see what card we're gonna pull today. A line from the movie Bambi. You can call me Flower if you want to. Didn't the bunny say that line? Faux flower. Faux flower. That does sound nice. Because Joe Schmo technically means like some guy, right? Some guy. It's just some guy. You're not just some guy to us, Joe Schmo, for what it's worth, bro. You are Flower Poe. Flower Poe. Poe Flower. Pojo. Pojo makes me happy. It's fun to say. Try saying it. Say Pojo. Joe Flo. Joe Flo works as well. Light blue? Nay, not light blue. Dark blue, actually. I mean, there's some light blues in there. We're getting X'd. Protection. Do you feel protected? What just happened? Call back your power. Cut the cords. Mm, I don't know how many of your friends were here for the start of the stream, but we did talk about attachments, right? And I specifically mentioned this like cord effect, web effect, right? Like all of the attachments you have to the outer world are like these cords you are attaching to yourself. And if those things get cut, or if those things get pulled away from you, it affects your being. Call back your power, cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Nice. A protection card. One more time. I keep feeling purple and gray. I mean, purple and grays would be accurate, dude. Purple mountains. There's some grayness in those colors as well. The power of 7. These cards are weird, yo. They're kind of weird, but in a good way. Like, I like it. I'm weirded out, but I'm like, it's weird, right? Looks to myself, this is kind of weird. And looks self goes, yeah. You like it? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do like it. Why do I like it? Because it's weird. Checks out. Checks out. One more time, and I'll read for you, friends, what it means. Protection. Yeah, it sucks. Love is true. I don't know if I'm missing comments. I feel I might be. It's stripping my brain out a little bit. It's like a twilight moon as well. Maybe that's part of the protection. Every one of these, it might just be her using the same frame over and over again, but she has her elbows basically parallel. Right? Do you have to have it there for the protection to work? Am I reading too much into it? Maybe. Milwaukee just came out of a giant power station, 7,000 watts of peak power for 3,000 fire continuous, all using Milwaukee batteries. That's pretty expensive, but I can guarantee you, bro, like a tool like that will last you a while. And if you get it, new from the manufacturer, I don't know what Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee tools; they're pretty nice. I don't know what their manufacturing, warranties are like, but I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty good. So if you buy a tool like that, you should think of it like a 10, 20 year investment. All right, like if you keep buying stuff like that, if it's a year to year thing, then it doesn't make sense. But buying it as an investment, like the batteries, like you friends, and I literally, Kate was one of the friends. I sent a few of you friends. I started sending messages. We learned that there's going to be like 12 hours of load shedding a day, right? Like it got broadcasted, stage 6 load shedding, 12 hours, no power, right? I panicked. I was like, bro, I'm losing my mind. We need to have Wi-Fi to do the streams. With 12 hours of power outages, I won't have Wi-Fi for 12 hours a day. So I started messaging you friends asking for help. And I think by the third message, you friends had already helped me gather all of the money, in order to actually be able to afford the battery. It was uh, Gateway, and I think Gateway helped. And then I asked Kate, and she basically paid the rest of the batteries total. It was like $270, which is not, an exorbitant amount, but that's still a lot of money in South Africa. And that battery has been keeping the Wi-Fi on, right? Like literal hundreds of hours of live stream that we've had with one another was being powered by that pair of batteries that is just living in the closet. So it is one of those things that you kind of like buy, and the point is to forget about it. Like it's so convenient that you don't have to think about it anymore. Whereas like something that has like pistons, has like fuel injectors, has carburetors, has tanks, has pull cords, has electric starters, etc., etc., etc. Like so many points of failure with our old technology. Like we really are taking care of ourselves, I believe, emotionally. Switching over to the S. I'm listening intently to these cards. They keep hitting heavy. I'm kind of like postponing right now as well, it feels. They were good guesses. Light blue and purple and gray. True. Melody, it's happening. I'm tripping a little over this one. Bro, I guess it's time for us to read what it means. You ready, Brother Bear? Protection. You are protected. Let's see. 104. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, object, and events. So it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give power, we can give away our power. So it's important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords and doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you are being called to call back your power from? I instantly had a thing in my mind, which is trippy, right? Because it has been pulling on me a little bit. Check into your body now and see which chakras feel like it needs a bit of energetic cleanup. For me, it's my sacrum, actually. Right? It goes solar. No, it goes root, sacrum, solar. So I feel sacrum is the thing, like the emotional body seems to have been taking a beating a little bit. Let's see if I can get my lighting better. Energetic cords. I've heard this term before. Nice to have them every jogged. Bless. Needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. There is a work your light activation. It's like a little prayer almost at the end of it. Hold the card on the chakra that needs cleaning and repeat the following. Maybe I should show you friends a little bit more of a wide view. I call back any lost soul fragments, power or light now. Any vows, soul contracts, hexes, or programs from the past or present, from this life or others that are not in the highest good of all, I relinquish now. Any power or light that I have willingly or unwillingly given away or had been taken from me, I call back now. Goodness, that's pretty trippy. Any cords or attachments from this life or others, I release now for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. I see a moth metamorphosizing back into a worm. But before that, I saw what looked like a pink lily that had what seemed like infrastructure being built in the middle of it, out of the same material that the lily was being made of. Like the soft, fleshy petals was being turned into like 3D printing material. And it could 3D print this infrastructure, like a tower in the middle of this flower, out of that softness. That was like when I first closed my eyes, I was like, nice. I am reutilizing the energy that I've been giving of my soul to maybe my work even, and I'm building myself up with it, right? Like returning it to source, returning it into the stuff that it actually was, right? Maybe that's the way it should be interpreted. That it's not actually made of the flower stuff. The flower stuff is made of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you for the protection, for the reminder to call my energy back. Not that I've lost any of it. The fact that it went into willingly or unwillingly giving your light away. I really willingly give it away because I believe we are infinite, right? But even infinity can come back to its source. Surely it does. Surely that's what infinity is. The ability to, right? Love is true. Nice. Nice, nice. We are protected because we are protection. Like the energetic shields, dude. Keeping out the dark realms from the higher ones. You are angels fighting demons right now, and you don't even know it. Maybe you do know it. Probably some of you do know it. Stop being so pompous. Pretend to not know it, please, a little bit. You know, some people might raise their eyebrows at you if you say too much. Speaking of colors, I just finished trimming and grooming my nails. What color polish should I use? I saw a lime green as soon as I closed my eyes. But I don't know if that's a good color on people, so don't like maybe use lime green accents. Creme, sheer, shimmer, metallic, glitter, diochrome, textured. What kind of formula? Uh, a shimmer. Is there metallic? Is there metallic lime green? That sounds sick. Metallic lime green. I vote for. Energy the chords. Love again to you. I didn't. I really don't have words right now. Thank you. Impressive stuff. Thank you, Joe. You showed up, bro. So that card was for you as well, man. You were a part of that energetic chord after all. Your chords were being pulled because you were attached enough to pay attention to what I was reading. I'm way late to the party, but as a former brewer, I should tell you, if you don't know, hops and beer are cousins of cannabis. I do know this, yes. That have same terpenes. They have similar, you know, capacity to produce terpenes, but it's their volumes, right? And like the accessibility and like the degradation during the processes that's important. I could make you a wonderful beer, but I get it. And I would have happily your wonderful beer, Duck Dad. That's the point I'm making, right? It's not that I'm strictly against alcohol. It's just that I consider it an inferior drug, right? Because I do consider it a drug. I also consider coffee a drug. I consider coffee a superior drug to alcohol, right? Where if we would drink very good, very strong coffees, you know, during our weekends instead of alcohol, that would also be better for us, energetically, conversationally, and also physically afterwards, right? Our bodies would be able to recover better. There might be a little bit more hypertension and heart stuff, but there'll be significantly less accidents and violent acts and, you know, liver damage and et cetera, right? So it's not that I'm strictly against it. It's just because I don't actively drink, because it's not something that I do, I haven't had the chance to drink enough beers to form a proper opinion on what a good beer is supposed to taste like. However, I have smoked a lot of weed in my life, right? Not nearly as much as some of you friends might have. Like maybe not even, you know, like a percentage of what you friends have smoked since you have lived longer than me, you know, at the very least. And you have had access living in America to better weed than I have. So for me, it's like again, an options thing, right? There are options. There are options in a bunch of different types of beer, but there are also options in a bunch of different types of weed. And I would rather partake of the weed options than the alcohol options, purely for the fact that I'm a sucker for flowers, right? Like energetically as a person, I like flowers. Growing flowers, right? Like I've grown a bunch of weed, something that you can't really explain to someone who hasn't grown themselves. But the act and the experience of spending time with your plants when they're like deep into flowering and being able to come up close to them and smell like that thick, deep aromas. And now, especially getting into actually having the capital to buy seeds instead of just planting the seeds that I have got from bags, you know, I look forward to being able to not only grow delicious buds for myself and for my friends, but also being able to bring flavors and smells into my world that do not exist anywhere else in the world, right? Or at least not anywhere else in my immediate accessible world. There's nowhere I can go right now to smell like one of the strains I got is like a strawberry diesely, gluey, terpene profile. There's nowhere I can go, right? I can walk thousands of kilometers in each direction, and I won't find any flowers that do that. Maybe some person is growing it in their closet somewhere, but that's not exactly going to be accessible to me, is it? Right? So for my as a person, as like a rudimentary, technically pretty simple in comparison to what we're capable of and how complex our plant life is, to be able to bring something like that into the world and then be able to experience the depth of that work, it's so romantic to me, right? Like it's very romantic. And maybe you can have that same level of romance of your beer making process, but I haven't been able to. I would like to make my own beers though, right? Again, because it would be more romantic at the very least than just buying liquids from a bottle that I don't know where the bottles came from, or where the liquids in the bottles came from, or where the people were that put the liquids in the bottle, or where the things were that got turned into liquids before they were liquids, or right? Like all of that stuff, I lose. I lose all of that romance, all of that beauty when I just buy myself a bottle of liquor. Right, and I think maybe with like the whole NFT fractal that's opening up to our world, it might be a little bit easier to show people that stuff as well. Right, if you technically go into the Internet of Things extreme 10, 20 years from now, there are cameras during every single step of the production process of whatever product that you have, and you scan the code or the QR code or whatever of your product that you have in your hand right now, you could technically fast forward, scrub through the entire process of the ingredients that went into that whole product, right? Maybe that will bring back some romance, but yeah, make things yourself. Grow things for yourself. It is very, very rewarding to do so. Duochrome, it does sound cool though. It's so weird. I don't know what it is, but I have like a physical gag aversion to long nails. I don't mind women's right to do it at all, or dudes, but for some reason they hit me at my cringe button. Yeah, I also find they hit my cringe button, Duck Dad. I have tried to explain it to the women in my life as well, where it looks uncomfortable, and on top of the discomfort, it doesn't I don't want to be touched by it, right? Like that same gag, like makes me feel like that, right? Because it's not natural. I guess that's the thing. There's a lot of things we do to ourselves that's not natural, I guess, but nails can be one of those. And again, right, like the point isn't for us. It's not for us, right? It's for the person who's doing that for themselves because they like the way that looks. That is the point of the nails doing. So I guess that's also something we have to wrap our heads around, Duck Dad, to get kind of like past the way it makes us feel and the confusion it sets into our beings to be like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you make it harder for yourself? Like especially since I use my fingers to like work dirt sometimes. If I had like long as nails, they would snap off at the bottom of my pots or get caught on the dirt. So like it like does something to us because of the people that we are. That we're like, but to them, they're doing it for themselves because it looks pretty, and they don't have the same options, right? Not because their options are being taken away, but because of the options they show up for. So that's the way I think of it, at least. Me and a few buddies have a little microbrew operation once upon a time. It would be fun to get a swampy duck brew going. I seriously look forward to you friends like following through with these ideas and like really us doing that, right? As a community, making a bunch of different products. And then through this community, having access to people that would like to actually purchase it from us, right? If you're gonna drink beer, right? You like drinking a beer every now and then, right? Maybe you have a beer budget. Maybe you drink 2 beers during the weekend. So that's 8 beers a month, right? So buying 2 6-packs is something that you can justify for yourself. And then instead of going to your local brewery, or I shouldn't say local brewery, your local Target or your local petrol station, right? And then buying a beer from the fridge there, being able to reach out to Duck Dad and Swampy, right? And they made those beers, and you get to buy 2 6 packs of beers from Duck Dead and Swampy, and you can go and meet them. You can drive to their little brewery operation, and they can show you how they do things, and they can be stoked to share their process with you or whatever, right? Like that's kind of the world I want to live in. It might be a little bit too idyllic and romantic, and it's gonna expect a lot of people to do a lot of work for not a lot of money. But I would like to believe that our objectives are gonna change. Huffing copium harder. Check. Won't make Mel. Describe it to him. Bless you. Thank you, Raven. Explain about hot degradation. It's why we have cold hopping techniques and extracts. I'll make it so terpy. You will fuck. Alcohol sucks. When I talk beer, it's a beverage to be enjoyed like a dessert. Yeah. Like maybe one beer every 6 months. Okay. You see, I was going for like 2 beers a weekend, but one beer every 6 months would be even better. Yeah. And then you can make it like something special. And then buying beer, from people that you know, from people that who like that their personhood, right? Like, oh, Duck Dad is this kind of person, he makes these kind of jokes, he smiles in that way, he moves in this way. Oh, Joe Schmo, he's like that. He's so and so. And then being able to enjoy the beer and then taste all of those flavors, knowing that this person painstakingly put in all of that work. Where if the beers we buy these days, most of it is like factory, right? It's like tanks on tanks on tanks, and it's just liquids being moved from one tank to another. And technically, that's exactly what you're doing as a person as well. So it's like splitting hairs at that point. I believe in romance. I believe in it hopelessly so. Oh, I do, right? And it's mostly up to you to make it romantic at the end of the day. All beer tastes like socks. You could just bake cupcakes if you don't brew beer. Oh goodness, Louisiana reminds me of the way a butterfly wing changes color, green to blue to purple, iridescence. Such a beautiful color. I don't know if you were here for it, but we actually talked a little bit about those butterfly wings, dear Joe. Zano, when I won a gold medal for one of my IPAs and everybody was giving me cheers, congratulations. My wife tried it and said it tasted like pool chemicals. She's my grounding rock. I'm flexible like that. Just want to hang out, bless. Swampy, imagine how good your beer would taste if you didn't have that disgusting Florida water to burn with. The savagery, the pointing of fingers. My partner always has fancy beers. He had one the other day that was like creme brulee stout. Still tasted like liquid socks. Creme brulee stout. Yeah, it tastes like socks. I can imagine like the dismay and like oh no it doesn't. It tastes like creme brulee. Can't you taste it, Zano? And you're like, no. Tastes like trash, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Tastes bad. Bit of advice for all gardeners: invest in a small RO, reverse osmosis filter system. Yeah, reverse osmosis water is pretty good. That is true. Percentage. Okay, I'm on AFK. Love into you. I'm gonna go play my kalimba and finish up. Can I design your label? Yes. Yes, the community threads are being woven even thicker, making us even stronger, creating even better of a social net. Posted my charm nails in general. Bless you, Zano. To the friends who want to go see, I will not risk trying to use Discord right now, lest I get more angries. I once won a medal for a German-style Kolsch, a very simple beer, but the reason mine was outstanding was I mimicked the water profile from the Rhine River, where it was origined, where it came from. That's really cool. I drink that brew. Can I design your label? Love is true. Either rain or water or well water. Water minerals are good, my dude, but you do have to be careful of the bacteria. So just keep the pH low. Yeah. Love is true. Good job. Rescue animals yesterday. Bless you. I had people telling me on Arpan streams that I was insane to not be wearing gloves, touching the soil. There are many people who never touch dirt a day in their lives. That is also true, I guess. I mean, and I get it, bro. Like, I have pieces of dirt lodged underneath my fingernails right now, and it asks me to let go. And I have a hard time letting go sometimes, right? And a lot of people do as well. We're so attached, right? Again, with all of the threads, so thickly spun. Methods of work, pH levels. Melty, you were describing exactly what I did for 5 years. I'm over that life, but it's the same thing I do with plants, craft beer, and craft gardening. Yeah, fortunately, Brother Bear, the beauty of this life thing is the fact that you have options. Bringing it right back to today's stream topic. You have options, right? You want to brew beer? You can brew beer. You want to grow plants? You can grow plants. You want to make glass? You can make glass or blow glass. You want to do live streaming where you share your environment with people? You can do live streaming where you share your environment with people. Look at you, friends. Don't you like that? That's such a sexy scene. Thank you, Mama Gaia, for being so gorgeous. Wow. That is pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Hot diggity. I will embrace a little bit more lemonine, and then I'll go and sit with my kalimba and, do a little bit of a kalimba stream. I'm gonna wire my microphones already though, so I can get up and go quickly when it's done. Say thank you for talking about personhood. I've never heard the term, but that's what I've tried to convey in any business that I start. And I wrote it down to use this year. Brother Bear, bless you, man. You're a cool person, man. That's why I believe your tomato plant sell as well, dude. People don't buy things. People buy from people. Right? Like that is very important for us to remember. Unfortunately, we have now gotten products that are so good from these faceless corporations that we want to buy them, but it's still people at the back end, like look at a product like Apple's, and I'm kind of like encapsulating all of Apple's product under the Apple name. Like still, even though they have these really good products and people are going to 100% buy them, when they advertise or when they make their products known, they have people telling you stories, right? They have people telling you use cases. It's people that are selling those products to you, right? And the health of those people and the glamour that you imagine them having, being programmers, living this life, living in Silicon Valley, working for Apple, all of that stuff influences your mind, to wanting the product more or not. And it works that way for even something as simple as, you know, a bottle of water, literally, you know, like people would rather buy the bottle of water that they saw one of their favorite people use than another one. I got out of brewing beer right when all of those dessert stouts started becoming a thing, and thank God, because they're a pain in the. Everything is so sticky from the dextrose. No, thank you. Cleanup takes forever. Oh goodness, 18% alcohol, so it costs triple to make, and you have to stir in like 6 times the grain to hit the alcohol. This is a fractal that I do not know much about, Brother Bear, but I get that it sounds like a pain in the ass. Like some of these things end up being, bruh. Again, find the things that you love, right? And show up for that. All of us love different things, fortunately. And if we can all find the things that we love and show up for them, this world will change quickly. It's already changing right in front of our eyes. Thank you, Mama Gaia. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Melt. Today is a beautiful day, my friends. We are blessed to breathe air and to walk freely. Remember all of the gifts that you have sitting right in front of you. To be so blessed to have friends, to have time to spend. My medicine has been administered. There might still be a little bit more hiding in the spoon. if I don't have dirt under my fingernails. I wonder whose fingernails they are. That's hilarious. Whoa, a Shan swampy message. It's true, actually. It's true. Thank you, Josh Mo, for giving us a beautiful message as well. I'm gonna go and play my kalimba a bit. Na 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 na. Ska, skibbity bop bop bop. Yeah. Nobody. Huh. Okay. Man, I move myself and then my environment changes. How neat. How neat. Kalimba time. There we go. We opened the space, and now it has come to its close. Gently so, with some plings and plangs, with some things and tangs. I don't know if you're seeing that pheasant running in the corner. Pippi is sitting squarely on my seat. You sitting on my seat, silly? Thank you. Thank you for making space for me. There we go. I think actually, with the shifting light, this might be better. some OCD. I'm like gonna end the stream in like a minute or two, but still, still needs to be perfect, 100%. Yes, ain't no such thing. I'm gonna try anyway. I say good for both because I always want to be missed, and so I like the idea. I am jumping into comments that I have absolutely no idea of the context. As I sit here at my new desk made of scrap materials at the beginning of a messy grow room, now set up, I celebrate my options to begin my season with strong support networks of the melted. I miss Shan. Me too, Joe. That was all I was supposed to say. Just that. Love is true. We are blessed and highly favored. We are protected because we are protection. We are connected because we choose to be. We are unity and we are infinity. We are silly, dancing critters just trying to be available to this world. Love is true, bro. Love is true, man. I use the exact same phrase. My wife hates it. People don't buy things, they buy from people. Exactly. Swampy, we will see her on the workday gathering manifest. This is a call out to anyone in chat. If Shan reaches out to you before she reaches out to me, tell her about the workday that we all want to drive up one day. About one day that we want to drive up and do her to celebrate her new home. Yeah, I know. Bless. I think it's silly that I miss her, but I do. Me too, bro. Like, it is kind of rough. It's the wide lens. Because it's one of those things where, again, we're causing ourselves suffering by wishing that things were differently, right? Wishing that we didn't miss her, wishing that we had no reason to, wishing wishing so, right? And that wishing for something to be different is what's causing us suffering in this moment, right? It is what it is. Love is true, regardless. Tell her to be contacted. Better to arrange ahead of time. Yeah, and people in bag materials. I mean, weed and tools. She doesn't smoke weed anymore, bro. That's the thing. We get attached to folks. That's all. It is like I had to call. It's good for both of you. It's a beautiful expression of the love, even though it's a little bit bittersweet. Yeah, it's true. I could make a standard pale ale in a 5.5 workday. Wow. Make it 80% sour stout, 18-hour day easily. I'm lost. We are getting to the finish of our stream. I feel that message by our beloved Joe Schmo was more than enough. But I want to say, indeed, and goodbye to you, dear friends. Thank you for joining me again for this conscious evolution, for being some of the absolute most wonderful, fantastic, incredible, surreal, understanding, compassionate, caring, kind, friendly, patient human beings that I've ever had the pleasure to be able to meet. Even if it's through this digital medium, still, you friends have shown me love beyond what I could ever have imagined. Thank you for helping me prove that love is true. Sending you all eternal blessings, so much lovings for the rest of the day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers for now. Thank you, friends, for simply being yourselves. Thank you, Ja, for sharing so much love with this world. Get better. Heal up harder. I'll see you, friends, again soon, tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.